The Indigenous Learners Initiative is a program within our CPAA professional education program that helps prepare learners to become professional accountants, incorporating Indigenous context.
The concept started about May of 2022. There was a research study that was conducted by Athabasca University, commissioned by CPA Canada. When that report findings came out, we understood that there were a number of ways that we could directly involve in attempting to try some of those mitigations.
This program is designed around looking at those barriers that the research identified and actually removing those barriers for Indigenous people.
It's not one or two or three. Our learners face a multitude of barriers. So we actually went through the 32 items and came up with a mitigation or reduction approach for each of the items.
And what you're seeing through our Indigenous learner pilots is us looking at these recommendations and trying to implement some of the things that we learned from the study.
Accounting is not something you can change, right? It's black and white. But how you tell the story to enable someone to learn the content was actually key here.
We need to incorporate storytelling. We need to incorporate humor, because that is part of our culture. That is part of the way we transmit knowledge.
The idea is that Indigenous people that take the program should be able to see themselves in both the stories and the content in terms of how the cases are written, but also be able to identify with how the program is inclusive of people like them.
When they did it, they found it to be extremely effective. They thought it was a very powerful tool, so much so that CPA Canada came back and said, we want to incorporate this in all of our material, Indigenous or not. One of the important things is that we were able to bring our Indigenous learners together. And when they go into a post-secondary environment, that helps to overcome so many of the barriers that our learners face.
From the student's perspective, to be able to hear from different mentors, to have different individuals at their disposal that they can reach out to for support, really allows them to feel comfortable in any setting and share with different individuals what's going on in their life.
In the development of our Indigenous material, we ensured that the material reflected authentic Indigenous content, authentic representations of our community members and our culture.
We wanted equal or fair representation amongst each of the 3 Indigenous groups in Canada. And so anytime there was decisions made on the project, there was Indigenous subject matter experts weighing in to the design principles, to the philosophies, even in some regards to the actual content itself.
We've taken the first couple of courses. We've come up with Indigenous storylines to supplement the core CPA curriculum. But we want to be able to expand that supplemental Indigenous content to other courses as well within the CPA program.